And now we are on team one for the first inning. What is your position on the Winlove Field House expansion and the parking lot expansion?
Well, it's a number of different projects. It's new bathrooms, it's a pavilion / lightning shelter, and it's also the purchase of the Marker property with half town money and half state money. It also came with some strings attached about how we could use that property going forward. And now, of course, it has a garden on it too. So it's not a simple answer. In general, I think it's important to keep Winlove Field up to date. I think that when my kids were soccer age, I used to get a lot of complaints from the coaches in Hoboken about the condition of Winlove Field. They really felt it was unsafe, that it was bumpy and, you know, it was a safety hazard. And I'm told, I haven't talked to any of the coaches, I'm told that we have spent money on that and that the condition of the field itself is much better. I think that the renovation of the bathrooms is a big step up. They were in very sad shape, and it's something that everybody uses. The Marker property, I think, was probably not a good idea, at least the way it turned out. I think it was originally contracted for in order to support our Borough Hall expansion, and when that plan was backed off, we were still pretty much stuck with the property. We're using it as best we can, but probably wasn't a good idea. And the fact that it was done with Green Acre money or some type of conservation money means that we're now restricted, and that the only use for that entire property can be what they call passive recreation, which will make it difficult or impossible to actually use the house for anything. It may turn into a fire training house at some point.
Your side finished.
We use Winlove all the time, or my family, but yet I don't think we need to ask taxpayers to fund every nice-to-have project.
I think the people of South River deserve a first-class facility. The money for the Marker property and the money for the renovation group. We have to credit our mayor and council for bringing in the grants that took care of that project. If you look around the other towns, they've got first-class facilities. South River should have first-class facilities.
And I would echo that. Again, 12 years in town, I saw the evolution of Winlove, and it's one of the most beautiful places in our town. And I'd like to see it continue to be invested in and do the appropriate things for our kids, our families, and our community.
Next question. Team two will go first. Question. Given what you know about the residents' reaction to the cell tower and the million Borough Hall expansion, would you have recommended a referendum? Why or why not?
I think that I think communication is always very important. I think that I understand. I wasn't again part of it, but as a citizen, I realize that there's areas that have to be taken care of. I mean, the situation, I think, was dealt with in the best way possible. The benefits now to the fire department are a good output of it, and plans going forward. I think everybody learned a lesson about communication, and I think going forward that we'll have a different outlook when we try something. Thank you.
Well, I would add that clearly there were lessons learned. There's no doubt about it. And I think if done again, it would be handled much differently. All I know is that when I ride down Chestnut Ridge Road into drop my call. So I'd love to see that call, whatever it needs to happen, not get dropped. So that's all I have to say.
Well, I'll observe that neither of them actually answered the question as to whether they would support the concept of a referendum on large town projects like that. I do think that it's important to have a referendum when you're talking about something that would truly change the character of the town to the degree that either of those projects would. I also think I heard Lou say he's ready for another cell tower somewhere.
Well, hold on a second. Eric, I love you, but you know what? I love when you just say things, and you just, I guess whatever you say is the truth.
Please hear your mic.
Thank you. I absolutely believe in referendums for large projects. I think what you would find is the leaders in office at that time, realizing there would be a referendum, would actually consult with residents ahead of time. And a lot of the problems we've had recently would not have happened with that consultation.
I will just respond to myself and say that I live in the very south end of town. It's what we lovingly refer to from a cell phone point of view as the Hobokus Hole. I would benefit from improved coverage. I'm not thinking that I'd like to see one of those in my backyard. There is enough 4G, there is enough, we get by,
And can I just say that if I didn't answer the question, yes, for large capital projects, I do believe in the referendum.
Thank you.
And to go on record, I do as well.
The record's about. Let's move on. Okay, we have Team 1, who's going first. The Saddle River Volunteer Fire Department has for many years had difficulty attracting residents of our borough as active members. The primary reason has been lack of residents in the age groups that normally staff volunteer fire departments. Paid fire departments are known to be very expensive. A recent resignation letter of the volunteer fire chief describes a department incapable of delivering required services. What is your plan for restoring fire protection services for the borough? 2 minutes.
thank you. The volunteer fire department is obviously critically important to the whole town, and I don't think there'd be any disagreement about that. In my view, the department really has been neglected or allowed to weaken for the past 5 or maybe 10 years. And my solution, not being a firefighter, is, but the observations I have is that the solution has to start at the top and the bottom. I personally, and from conversations with other residents, discovered that residents from Saddle River were actively discouraged from joining the fire company. The prior and current borough officials that are in charge of that area have really, for various reasons, discouraged us residents from wanting to become more involved. And we need to change that attitude at the top. We also need to, obviously, at the fire company itself, start working on the recruiting problem. They haven't really held recruiting drives. It's up to the firemen themselves, the captain, the chief, and to figure out. But I would suggest that they try to form some type of auxiliary or a way of getting people introduced to the fire company before they have to go through the training, so that people can discover whether or not it's an area that they would have some aptitude for, have the abilities for. We have to do everything we can to open up the recruiting and the encouragement of volunteers at the firehouse, and that's within the town as well as without the town. If we can keep it together as a volunteer organization, I think that would be a huge plus for the town, and that's what I support.
The fire department does need a lot of TLC, there's no doubt about it. And I I think we're all aware that we have a very good safety committee that is working on it. And I think all areas should be looked at, and no stone left unturned to get the fire department back on track with the help of all of us in town. I think it's important for us, it's important for everyone to give as much support as we possibly can. Thank you.
Well, I would just add that the reality is it's a significant commitment to be a volunteer firefighter. It's an incredible amount of hours to qualify. It's an incredible amount of hours to staff our fire department. And I wish I was young enough to do it. I don't have the energy to do it. And I know a lot of my friends out here would love to do it as well. But it's a big commitment. So the reality is we have a problem in our town with regards to our volunteer fire department. And I think it's going to take a lot of teamwork, a lot of great collaboration to fix this opportunity for our community.
Are we done? Yes. We have a follow-up, which is a yes or no. And actually, I think Luke just answered this one. But your team two goes first. And this questioner wants to know, would you volunteer to be a firefighter in Saddle River?
10 years ago, I probably would have said yes to that. But today, the reality is, no, I don't think I can physically do it, as well as commit the incredible amount of time. And so the answer is no, I couldn't do it.
I think I already passed the age limit. But it's a problem that every town is experiencing. It's the nature of people working out of the area, our young citizens leaving for college, and going to live in different areas. So I think, like I said, we need to look at the whole situation with the new pair of glasses.
The other team.
I may be the only one age eligible for the fire department. Unfortunately, I'm hoping to be on the council, and there'll be severe time demands. I think I'll be serving that way.
Well, then I'll be the odd one out. I actually went down to the firehouse and spoke with Bill D'Elia, who is I guess the longest serving member still on that squad. And I asked him how many 55-year-old firemen does he really need down there? And he said one more. So I did some work looking to see what it takes to qualify, and I have a couple ideas. But even if I can't be a qualified one, I do think that there's ways for people to get involved, and I intend to look at that.
Thank you. Now it's time for team one to go first. This question is, Saddle River was always a community where municipal governance occurred with respectful civil discourse. Recently, civil discourse has significantly deteriorated. How would your style of governance restore civil discourse?
That may be another question for me. I got involved in December of 2012, but before I got involved, in 2006, there was a lot of acrimony concerning the Burning Hollow water problem, and in 2011, there was a lot of acrimony concerning the cell tower. So unfortunately, I think our town is just kind of wired to have controversy every so often. If we win, which I do believe we are going to win, Eric and I are committed to reaching out to all the council people and starting fresh. I do think that the question has some merit. I do think that both sides need to come together, and we are Republicans after all. And I'm committed to doing that.
I would say that for my part, and Paul's, we both bring a lot of passion and energy to this, but uncivil discourse is not our style. And I think if you look at how this campaign's been conducted, you may notice a difference in the tone between the two campaigns. I'm pleased that we have kept our discussions on the issue and away from personalities. And I intend to continue to do that. We're trying to talk about important issues that are central to the future of the town. And I do think that collegiality has its place. I'm committed to doing that as a candidate and when, assuming we're elected, when we're on the council.
Please hold your applause. Yeah.
Well, that's, the question is always, how do you go about your style of working with other people? And I believe if you start with a positive outlook and you gain respect from other people, you will get a lot more with honey than vinegar. For my opponents to start a job with with an alienation factor right off the bat, it's going to be hard to get the confidence of the people that you need to work with every day on a daily basis. So I think if there was a better approach, if everyone acted more civilly, that we could get a lot more things done in town.
In my experience, when you join a team, the first thing you do is listen. And that's what I would intend to do before I think I have all the answers. So I think that helps not to alienate people, treat people with respect. And then once you truly are grounded in really the details and the true facts, then I think then it would be appropriate to make the respective recommendations.
May I respond to this?
20 seconds.
Sure. I'll just read from an ad from April 17th Town Journal, referring to myself and our enemies.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, that's not appropriate for this board.
Our
I'm
opponents
sorry.
call us morally
Next question,
reprehensible.
please. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
All of you can distribute your campaign literature and discuss it after the forum, but this forum is not an appropriate place to argue about who said what, when, where. Okay, next question, team 2 will answer first. What will you do to lower our taxes?
Well, fiscal responsibility is an everyday job, and we have to really very, very financially astute people that are on the council now who pore over every little aspect of what we do. The idea of getting the best services for the best price is always what we strive for.
Well, I would say that any budget, whether it's your own personal budget or whether it's a government budget, has probably opportunities to save money. And I think once I become councilman, I would explore those opportunities, look at the information, and then make the appropriate recommendations.
And I'd like to add that the idea of a zero growth is just, I wish my household had zero growth. I would be very happy. But costs do go up, and you have to be realistic. And emergency situations come up. So, you have to just take the daily expenses and do the best you can with them.
Q1?
Thank you. Councilman DeGrasse has referred to zero growth. I think he's referring to the fact that Councilwoman Corinne Kerner supported the zero growth budget, and the council decided on a budget that grew slightly over 1%. What Councilman DeGrasse will not tell you, and in fact he was not at the meeting in which this was discussed, is the fact that the predicate for growth in this budget was based on, frankly, a misstatement by the former borough administrator. If anyone wants to come up and talk to me about it, whether they can. But basically, what happened in the February council was he claim that there was a surprise last-minute increase in the health insurance. That was simply not true. I discovered through public documents that these insurance costs were known as late as November, but certainly October of 2013. So when we talk about lowering taxes, I think it comes to the issue of due diligence. I think the councilmen have to be aware of what they're voting on. And frankly, Councilman DeGrasse, you did not know what you were voting on when you voted for the budget.
Well, that is not true. Matter of fact,
Okay, thank you. Please cover your remarks in the closing statement. Jot it down right now. Did the first team complete their answer to that question? We move on now. We'll try this one. And team one goes first. This is 2 minutes, 1 minute. This person wants to know the game plan for the, I think that's Marker property, leave vacant or, I guess, develop to generate income, property income, tax income.
Well, I believe you talked about this on an earlier question. The Marker property is where the new parking lot extension for Rinloud is, and there is a building on it. And honestly, I don't know what the plan is. I don't think there was much of a plan. I think that the encumbrance that's on that property now due to that property was roughly a $2 million acquisition, of which $1 million was grant money, not the entire amount. $1 million was town money, but we are now encumbered and can't really do much with it. So I don't think there is a game plan.
I was able to obtain the grant documents from Bergen County for the Marker property. As I understand those documents, there's very little we can do with the property. So I don't think there's really any possible plan for income generation.
In the scope of good planning, well, if you have an opportunity to purchase an asset, especially with the help of county funds, next to the municipal property, it's the wise thing to do. Any businessman knows that properties adjacent to their property, if they have the wherewithal, they would be wise to purchase it. That said, the Parks and Recreation Committee gave its full support to the Rinloud Field renovation. In time to come, we don't know what is going to be said. If we didn't purchase the white building at the east end of the school, the teachers would be parking in this lot right now. So a little foresight is always good in government planning.
And if you haven't visited the community garden yet, it is located next to the Rinloud parking lot expansion, and I would strongly advise everyone to come take a look.
Now, team two will answer first. Since this is a yes or no answer only, we'll keep 30 seconds. Do you support Councilwoman Kerner's no vote on resolution number 65-14 at the April 21st, 2014 budget adoption meeting? Yes or no answer?
No, I do not.
And I apologize, I don't know what that number means.
Good, and adequate answer. Kevin,
I will answer yes, and the explanation is, and I believe that Councilwoman Kerner asked this question, she might say, that she really wanted this worked out in the Finance Committee